Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Friday, February 5th Climate Dispatch. Johanna Miller with the Vermont Natural Resources Council, joined here with my friends and colleagues, Lauren Heirl, Vermont Conservation Voters, and Jared Duval, the Executive Director of Energy Action Network. It's a lovely snowy Friday, and we wanted to just give you a couple of important updates in terms of what's happening related to clean energy, climate efforts in the legislature, and some pretty substantive news and progress on the Climate Council that Jared will dig into a little bit further. Then Lauren will sort of wrap up with a few other highlights and a call to action. So just quickly on the legislative front, I mean, Zoom democracy remains, and there is a lot of conversation happening in several different committees. Still an active conversation in House Transportation related to the Transportation Modernization Act, which is really looking at our existing transportation bill and how we might use existing revenues and then a new influx of federal dollars and some ideas that came out of Governor Scott's budget proposal to really expand upon existing programs like Mileage Smart, helping more low-income earners get into more fuel-efficient vehicles, investing in bike and pedestrian infrastructure, investing in transit, electric vehicles, and a new exciting Replace Your Ride program, which we'll get into in more detail at some other point. But in that bill, there's some great ideas happening. And then in the Senate, there's also in Senate Natural, active conversations about this weatherization at scale initiative that Senator Bray and the Senate Natural Resources Committee are exploring. How do we really ramp up our investments in more low-income weatherization programs, and then also looking at transportation opportunities there, just beginning that conversation really this week and deepening it. And that is also informed by, and I think buoyed by, the recent news from the governor and the influx of federal dollars that really can help to create a foundation to really expand these programs. So that's great news. And also substantively, this week, the Climate Council and its new steering committee has met twice. Jared is one of those members of the Climate Council Steering Committee. Jared, give us a quick update on what is happening there. It seems like much progress being made and some potential opportunities for the public too.
Yeah, thanks, Joey. I'd say that overall, part of the balance that the council is trying to achieve is working efficiently to meet our commitments. We're working backwards from a December 1st deadline to submit a climate action plan that can add up to meeting our emissions reduction requirements that are now legally binding. And so we're focused right now on really standing up the subcommittees, the 4 that were identified in the legislation on rural resilience and adaptation, cross-sector mitigation. I know even energy wants to get confused by that, but that's really looking, economy-wide. What are all the sectors that we need to focus on to reduce our pollution? A Just Transitions Committee and an Agriculture and Ecosystems Committee. And there's also been proposed this 5th committee that wasn't in the legislation, but many council members feel like would be helpful, or focused on science and data. And so the process from here is that we've been able to take another week. All next week it will be open for members of the public to submit nominations of folks who are qualified and bring the life experience, the perspective, the expertise, and important experiences that would be valuable for those subcommittees, likely going to be in the range of 8 to 12 members total. And the majority of them, probably 5 to 6, are going to be council members. The start of those subcommittees will be just identifying the council members that will be part of them. And then they will meet for the first time each committee sometime the week of February 15th. And one of their first orders of business will be to say, okay, given who we have serving on this subcommittee from the council, what are the gaps in kind of understanding, expertise, perspective that we need to add to make sure that we can accomplish our work together, really working backwards from the goals and the timeline of contributing to the development of this climate action plan. And then those subcommittees would recommend to the full council what that kind of built out subcommittee slate and membership would look like. And I believe that will be voted on at the February 22nd Climate Council full council meeting. So, but the good news is that we're going to have another week to surface nominations of folks that could be helpful to serve on these subcommittees. Did I miss anything, Joey or Lauren, that you think is important to add? That's my quick overview.
No, that's great. And we'll keep people posted as things go on. We always like to make sure we're including opportunities for people to get engaged every week. So right now, top priority really is if you've got ideas of folks to nominate for these subcommittees, we really want to make sure that we're bringing a diversity of perspectives, lived experience, expertise into the Climate Council process. And these subcommittees are a great way to do that. There will also be lots of other public engagement opportunities. So whether or not you or someone you know could actually serve, officially on it, that does not mean that you're not then going to have a lot of chances to weigh in and make your voice heard. So just want to emphasize that, but would love to get those ideas. So we'll put a link to the Climate Council website where they're going to be posting the information of how to submit nominations. And would love to just get a really good breadth of ideas. So get your ideas in the hopper. Just two other quick things I wanted to mention. One, Vermont Conservation Voters worked with a range of organizations this week to put out our Environmental Common Agenda. So we can put a link to that as well, but it really highlights kind of key priorities that have been, exactly what we've been talking about ever since the session started, but lays it all out of, where we're really focused. And a lot of it is, the places where Joey started of, what kind of strategic investments we can be making right now to really jumpstart this transformation that is underway, but we've got to ramp up more quickly. So look out for that. And we're also doing a lot of advocacy with our federal delegation to ensure that we're doing as much as possible to ensure that Vermont can take advantage of future opportunities for federal stimulus and relief money as well. So look out for that and we'll keep you posted. But weigh in on the Climate Council. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Keep following #ActOnClimateVT and have a great snowy weekend. Take care, everyone.
Thanks all.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jared.